Hi and welcome back. Today's recipe is going to be one that we found in an 1800's cookbook. It's called whitefish with dill sauce. Now, this is not so much of an old recipe as it is a classic recipe. It's been around for a very long time, and you can use this sauce on just about any type of white meat, like chicken, fish. You can even use it on pork. Not so much beef. Beef needs something a little bit more of like a wine sauce, a burgundy wine sauce, than it is this type of dill sauce. So let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and cook this almost to done. Okay, and we're going to do it in the pan so we can get a nice brown to it. You want to use a good olive oil or butter. If you want to, you can use lard. You can also coat these in breadcrumbs. I'm not going to do that because of food allergies. But you do want to season your fish. And we're going to use a little bit of onion powder. Garlic salt. And black pepper. You want to get both sides of the fish. Now this is optional, paprika. Okay, and you want to get the pan nice and hot. And you want to fry these on both sides for about 2 minutes each. 2 minutes, and then flip 2 minutes. And they're going to put this over on a baking sheet. And then we'll get on the sauce. Now for the sauce, I'm going to go ahead and show you two ways of doing this. I'm going to show you the regular way, that's with flour, milk, oil, everything. There's also going to be a diabetic keto-friendly way. For one thing, our household, it has two different types of diets. I am what's called a celiac diabetic. I cannot have anything wheat, and I cannot have anything high carb. The original sauce is high in carbs. I can't do that, so there is a way of making a sauce, a thickened sauce, to the point to where it's not going to raise your blood sugar and not harm you. And let me go ahead and show you that. And you can use any whitefish that you have, because this type of whitefish has very little flavor to it. That's the reason why we're going to go ahead and add this sauce to it. But if you notice, I'm just pan frying it a little bit, getting a little bit of brown to it, and then I'm going to put it on the tray. And I also have a crease here because we're going to be doing 2 different sauces. I don't want the flour sauce to come into and touch my my altered sauce and make me sick. It's not a I don't want my food touching thing. It's a health issue in our house. Now I'm going to leave the little bits in here. Okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. You can use any fat source you wish. That's a little bit more than a tablespoon. But you can use any fat source you wish. A lot of people use butter. And it's equal parts flour. I'm guessing that's more like 2 tablespoons. That's going to be a lot of sauce, people. And you want to fry this up and make a roux. A little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm using ground up berries, so it's going to look a little bit brown. That's fine. You want to get it all nice and fried up because you want to cook that flour. And you're also bringing up this stuff on the bottom. That's just going to add to the flavor. Okay, see how darker it's getting? And this is where you want to take your milk. And slowly stir it in. Get out your wet. And we're going to make our gravy. Like I said, this is going to make a lot of gravy, y'all. Like I said, it's brown because I'm using whole wheat flour for this, because it's all I had. I use it occasionally because Grandpa Rebel is not on a specific diet, even though he should be. Okay, and now that we have the gravy consistency, We're going to turn down the volume, or the volume. We're going to go ahead and turn down the heat a little bit to about medium-low. You're going to taste it. See if it needs any more salt and pepper, which I'm pretty sure it does. You're going to want to keep adding a little bit of milk, because the more it bubbles, the more that liquid is going to evaporate. And this is where you want to add your dill. You can use dill, you can use dill seed. Whatever you got. There you are. And you're just going to go ahead and pour it over your fish. And if you got any more leftover gravy, go ahead and put it in a container for later. Now for the diabetic friendly, gluten-free, lactose-free gravy. We're going to use coconut milk. Just a little bit. All right, for this application, about 1/4 cup. All right, and we want to heat that up. And honestly, this is not going to take that long. Is once it starts heating up, you want to add a little bit of dill. Salt and pepper. Let that get nice and hot and let it simmer for a little bit. A couple of minutes. You want to infuse that dill into the liquid. Then ever so gently, you're going to put in some xanthan gum until it is to your thickness and liking. You can overdo it with the xanthan gum, so careful. Just sprinkle a little bit on, because it thickens quick. Okay, I've used 1/8 teaspoon so far, and it's already thickening up. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there with the xanthan gum, because the more you cook it, the thicker it gets. See? Xanthium gum has 0 carbs, 0 calories, and will thicken any gravy. Okay, we want to turn this off, get this off of the heat, and put it on the fish. This fish fell apart so badly, I've got fish nuggets. Alright, before we were so rudely interrupted by a dead battery, here is what we have. Okay, the brown gravy is the whole wheat gravy. This is the xanthium gum with the coconut milk. Coconut goes really well with fish, so if you're wondering, you know, this is actually going to taste really good. Now, you want to put this on a low broil for 15 minutes. You kind of want to brown the top and finish cooking off the fish. Okay, because all we did was brown the outside. We really didn't go much into the middle of the fish. Top rack on low broil for 15 minutes. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and make a vegetable. I'm making bok choy, just regular plain bok choy for our family, which means ginger, garlic, soy sauce, you know, all that stuff. First thing we're going to do is get the water boiling. And we're going to cut these up into quarters because these are huge. Okay, you also want to wash these. Sometimes they don't get in the middle of the leaves too much. You want to try to get all that dirt out. Alright, so when this is hot enough, you're going to go ahead and put these in here. Now, we're not going to cook these all the way. Okay, we're going to parboil these about 20 minutes. So that way, 15-20 minutes. That way we can still add like sauces and stuff to it and without it falling apart. I have these done. Okay, I got the fish out. Let's go ahead and we're going to drain these. And we're going to make our own little sauce. Not too complicated. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in about a tablespoon of ginger. And soy sauce. an equal amount of ginger, or the equal amount of fish sauce and soy sauce. About a tablespoon of garlic. And some cayenne pepper. You can use red pepper flakes if you want. I have it, I just don't want to dig it out. And we're just going to coat the bok choy in this. Okay, and let that coat and simmer and marinate for about 10 minutes. And we've got dinner. Now, if you have any other extra sauce, you can add it on top. What I did is that I kind of browned it a little bit too much for my liking. It's not white anymore, but it still tastes the same. I guess that looks a little bit whiter than this one, maybe. You know how you get going on other things and you kind of forget for a second that something's in the oven? Yeah, sorry. Doesn't look pretty, but it is actually pretty decent. Our family does like this white sauce that we did find in this cookbook that we have. It's one of our favorites, especially for fish. There is going to be some other things going on this week. I'm going to try to film it all. A lot of it has to do with the garden and the preparation and everything else for that. We're a little bit behind in garden prep, but that shouldn't matter. Things will still grow, just not as much as we wish. Thank you for coming. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next time.